Hi Internet, I'm John Appleseed. Welcome back to my YouTube channel where we do crosswords and other fun puzzles and games. Let's do a week's worth of connections. I've done this before, I really enjoy it. So I'm in the archives, the connections archives on the New York Times Games website. You can see these purple stars are connections puzzles that I have done. The gray squares are ones that I have not done. I'm recording this on Sunday the 27th. So let's start with the 20th. Maybe we can squeeze in the 27th depending on how long the video is going. But let's start here on the 20th and see how it goes. We'll scroll down past the ad and then play the puzzle. We have 16 words here. We need to build 4 categories with each category containing 4 words. And our words that we have to work with today are bop, draw, cross, buzz, dry, loan, pull, sway, bounce, twist, drag, shaken, pass, groove, gin, and puff. Pull and sway might be words you use to argue in favor of something, maybe. Not sure about that. No. What about bop? Bop can be a song. This song really bops. It really grooves. Or it could be a type of jazz or a type of dance. Twist could be a kind of dance. Groove, twist, bop. Not sure about that. What about draw? Draw can be a tie in sports. Draw could be pull, like to attract. To drag. Okay, I like these going together. We need one more. Draw a wagon, pull a wagon, drag a wagon. Not seeing a fourth one. What about cross? Cross can be a religious symbol, can be a word for kind of annoyed. I'm cross, I'm shaken. No. Buzz. Buzz can be a little bit of a little buzz, a little tipsy. Puff, drag, might go together. It's cigarette related. Okay, we have dry and shaken, words you might use when ordering a martini. Gin is in a martini. And then twist, you might have a martini with a twist instead of an olive. Okay, these are all words you might use when ordering a martini. Let's try that. That is correct. Then we have bounce. Bounce and pass, things you can do with a basketball. Not sure about that. We have draw and drag we looked at. You can have a drag race. Any other kinds of races on here? No. Cross we've looked at. Pass. I'll pass. I'll decline. No. You can pass a law. Kind of like groove and bop. Buzz and puff. Powder puff. Or take a puff, take a drag, take a pull. Things you do with a cigarette. You draw in your breath. Take a draw off this. I don't know if that's correct, but let's try it. That was right. Okay, there we go. Kind of lucky guess there. Kinds of saw, a buzz saw, a crosscut saw. I think there's a groove saw. Bounce saw sounds kind of dangerous. I don't know about that. To sway, to groove, to bop and bounce might be all things you do to music. Move to the music. Okay. This is our purple category, so this one is supposed to be difficult. Pass, loan, buzz, cross. I don't think I'm seeing this one. I can't think of this one. Okay, so I'm going to give up. in the interest of time. Winner wins. Let's find out what I'm missing here. Blank word. Buzzword. Crossword. Do plenty of crosswords. Loan word and password. Okay, yeah, but well, I don't feel too bad about that one. Let's do the 21st. So that one we didn't get full credit for. We're in purple purgatory, I like to call that. When you got them all on the board, you know what the last category is, but you can't figure out how they go together. So let's see if we do better today. For this puzzle, this is freezing, foot, extra, contraction, icing, shrinkage, condensation, melting, possessive, yada yada, bonus, regifting, festivus, quote, gravy, and vaporization. So I was going to say contraction and shrinkage going together. And when we got yada yada, I think, oh, maybe we've got Seinfeld related words, shrinkage, yada yada, festivus, and regifting. I think they were all Seinfeld episodes based around each of these terms. Yes, okay. And icing and freezing might go together, or they might not. Icing, freezing, melting, condensation. I see things you know that water can do: vaporization, melting, condensation, but more than 4. So let's figure out what we can get off the board. Possessive, and quote are these things that an apostrophe might indicate: a contraction, and there should be one more. And a foot. You can have one quote mark for a foot with two for inches in someone's height. Okay, what a single apostrophe might mean. There we go. Then we have bonus, extra, gravy. It's bonus, it's extra, it's gravy. It's just an icing on the cake. I think these all go together. And then condensation, melting, freezing could all be specific points. Temperatures at which water does, or some other fluid does each of these things, or just generically what water can do. Phase transitions for liquids. Okay, I think I'm on the right track there. So full credit for that one. Let's do the 22nd. Winaloo creates all of these puzzles. They are very fun. They're my favorite puzzles on the New York Times website. Chess, cheek, whoopee, cushion, temper, checkers, humble, attitude, lip, soften, honeycomb, cutie, dampen, camo, mouth, and stripes. Okay, I think lip and attitude. Don't give me your attitude. Don't give me your lip. Quit mouthing off. And boy, you've got a lot of cheek. These are all words that might go together as kind of sassy attitude. Sassiness. Okay, there we go. You can temper expectations and dampen expectations, soften expectations, and cushion. Expectations are a blow, cushion the blow. I think these are all words for kind of make something more gentle, mitigate, okay. Checkers and stripes can be a pattern. Honeycomb pattern. Camo is a pattern. Maybe these are all patterns on clothing. Okay, patterns, that works. Humble pie, whoopie pie, chess, cutie pie. Is there a chess pie? What is that? I'm going to guess that there's some kind of chess pie. Maybe it's like black and white, like an Oreo pie or something. I think pie goes with all of these. Yeah, blank pie. I'll have to look up chess pie and figure out what that is. Then we can do the 23rd. Now words for the 23rd are tomahawk, phantom, geoduck, bugbear, escrow, seahorse, flatiron, mortgage, porterhouse, boogeyman, appraisal, wombat, hobgoblin, titmouse, chateaubriand, and insurance. All right, I noticed geoduck is kind of an odd word, and it has a bird as the last syllable, and I noticed a couple others that did that. Tomahawk and escrow. Then we've got other animals. I wondered, maybe it's wombat. We have flying creatures as the last syllable. Unless goblins might fly. I see hobgoblin, boogeyman, and bugbear at least going together. Phantom maybe. Okay, I'm going to try these ones that I have highlighted as flying creatures as the last syllable. No, not even one away. Okay. So shame on me for falling for that. I'm going to give them a shuffle in that case so I can kind of look at it fresh. I do like bugbear, boogeyman, phantom, and hobgoblin as things that might haunt you realistically or metaphorically. Okay, dread-inducing figures. There's a flatiron steak, a tomahawk steak, a Chateaubriand steak, and a porterhouse steak. These are all cuts of steak. Yes. Then insurance, escrow, mortgage, and appraisal. These are all terms associated with buying a house. And then, so we just have the last syllable is a creature of some kind, not a flying creature, but we have bat, mouse, duck, and horse in here. And let's see if that is it. Yes, animals. Animals ending with animals. Okay, so one incorrect guess there. And then we have the 24th. Our words for the 24th are steel, pole, giant, split jet, loot, rim, nick, net, Titanic, great, bounce, dip, backboard, rabe, or rob, and mammoth. So rob is like broccoli rob, isn't that some kind of green, leafy vegetable kind of thing? What else would rob go with? Rob or rabe? I don't know rabe is a word. Yeah, just not sure. So we have steel, steel, jet, giant. Are these the first parts of football teams? Steelers, Giants, Jets. We also have, maybe these are New York professional athletes. The New York Giants, New York Knicks, New York Jets, and New York Nets. No. Not even one away, okay. Never mind then. Something is Titanic, it is giant, or mammoth, or great. How about that? Yes? Maybe net, backboard, pole, and rim go together as parts of a basketball basket. How about that? Yes. Then jet. Not sure. Steal. Homophone of the word related to theft or a metal or steal yourself. Loot can be a homophone of loot. Loot and steal, these could be homophones for theft. Rob pronounced that way, does work. And nick, without the K, could be to steal something. These are homophones for words that mean steal. For nab, okay? And then we have dip, jet, bounce, and split. All words for I've got to leave. I'm going to dip. I'm going to jet. I'm going to bounce. I'm going to split. Leave quickly. There we go. I think we had one incorrect guess on that one. Yes? Okay. Let's try the 25th. Oh, Mary, fair, mother, mum, be, in, out, ma, ball, bed, secret, foul, quiet, okay, and private. Please keep this private, keep it secret, keep it quiet, and stay mum about it. That's the first thing that jumps out at me. I got an incorrect guess last time for something that jumped out at me. Let's try this though. Okay, that's hush hush. That does work. O. Didn't we have state abbreviations not long ago? We've got Ohio, Indiana, Oklahoma, and Massachusetts. These are the two-letter state abbreviations for those states. Let's try that. Okay. We've got a B. You can have a spelling bee or a quilting bee. A bee in your bonnet. Not sure. Ball and foul. These are all things that an umpire might call during a baseball game. Foul ball, fair ball, ball versus strike, and out versus safe. Let's try that. Okay, good. Then we have bee, bed, Mary, and mother. Queen bee, queen bed, queen Mary, queen mother. Okay, where does it go with queen? There we go. That was right. So we got that. That one was perfect. Let's try the 26th. Lux, Trek, Bottle, Wars, Cope, Anise, Sarah, Kelly, Sage, March, Hunter, Mace, Hike, Pea, Dill, and Tramp. All right, the first thing that popped out here was Star Trek and Star Wars. Star anise is a kind of herb or plant, I think. Anything else go with star here? Star hunter, is that a thing? Star, I'm not sure about that. Anise and mace are kinds of herbs, and sage is as well. So is dill. Okay, let's try this as herbs. Herbs and spices. Cope. Not sure about that. Is trek, march, tramp, and hike can all be to cover long distances on foot. Travel on foot. Cope, lux, hunter, bottle. Kelly green and pea green. Hunter green is a shade of green. Is there a bottle green? I'm not sure about that. What would cope go with? Cope, to manage. You have a coping saw. What else would it be? Lux, as in luxurious, or deluxe. Are there other words that go with D as a prefix? Hunter. Orion the hunter. I liked it. Is there a bottle green? I'm not sure about that one. And what would be the fourth category? Bottle washer, beer bottle, water bottle. Okay, Sarah Lee. Triceratops. Nope. Okay, I'm going to try, maybe there's a bottle. Bottles, beer bottles and other bottles sometimes have that green shade to them. Maybe it is a shade of green. Just a guess. Let's try it. That was correct. Okay, so Sarah, Cope, Wars, and Lux. I don't think I'm going to get this one. Cope could be the first syllable of Francis Ford Coppola. Do we have other film directors on here? I don't think so. Wars. Star Wars is really the only thing I can think of. What other kind of wars are there? Sarah, Lux. Yeah, okay, I'm going to give up on this one as well. Starts of European capitals. Copenhagen, Luxembourg, Warsaw, and I can't think of it. What's the capital that begins S-A-R-A? Oh, I can't even think of it, even knowing it. Um, Saratoga is the only thing that comes to mind. That's like outside of European capital. Okay, I'll think of it eventually. All right, so complete and utter failure on that one. And let's do the 27th as well, just for fun. We're only going 20 minutes here, so our words for the 27th are Halloween, picnic, easy, grade, child's play, elementary, con game, tailgate, grammar, magic show, block party, piece of cake, festival, no sweat, primary, and hearts. Child's Play was a movie, wasn't it? A horror movie along with Halloween. Con Game was a Nicolas Cage movie. I'm not sure about that. Okay, if something is a picnic, it's easy. It was no picnic. It wasn't easy. Elementary, my dear Watson. It was a piece of cake. So these, and well, no sweat. So rather than saying it was no picnic, because you've got to reverse it, you say no sweat. Yeah, it was easy. No sweat, elementary, piece of cake. This was easy. Let's put that in. One away. It was Child's Play. Which one do we take off? Let's try this. Okay. Yeah, elementary could go with something else. Elementary education, primary education, grade school, grammar school. These are all words that go with school. Elementary school, primary school. Yes. Then these could all go together somehow, like, a social gathering, which you might have at a party. I'm not sure. Tailgate could also be a social gathering. Halloween. Are these occasions where you might dress up? I'm not sure about that. Magic show. Block party. See, block party, picnic, tailgate, festival. Maybe these are all social gatherings and the others are things that involve tricks. Yes. Okay, social gatherings for these, outdoor events. Then trick or treat. Con game is a confidence trick. Magic show does magic tricks. And hearts is a trick-taking card game, I believe. So what things that involve tricks. There we go. All right, that was fun. And if we look back at our stats, we get purple stars for all of them. Okay, there were none where I was completely unable to get it. There were, I believe, one where I had an incorrect guess. There were two where I was in purple purgatory and unable to escape. I think there may have been another one where I had an incorrect guess. All right. Well, that was fun. That was a good way to spend a few minutes. I really enjoy the connections puzzles. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.